Today I'm going to be ranking 13 random Xbox Ultimate games. I'm giving myself 1 hour to review and rank each one. But the catch is I can't play a game I've ever played on Xbox. And I'm only putting the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and the worst one on the scoreboard. And first up, nominee for worst Xbox Ultimate games I picked is Inculator. I'm gonna pick my character. You draw your soldiers by collecting more ink. And you can move your characters if they're in danger. Now that I'm out of ink, it's the enemy's turn. I can also moon enemies so they're not as focused. I accidentally pushed my guy off. There's also this fire that automatically kills your soldiers. Here's what happens when you lose. If you lose too many times, the game ends. There are multiple characters you can buy in this game from winning. And other things as well. There are even boss fights with death. Or you can choose not to fight like a baby. Overall, it's a good game, it's just not for me. The next nominee for worst game I picked is Heavy Weapon. I'm gonna play a quick survival game. It's a simple yet fun game where you move, shoot, and collect power-ups. This my last life. Here's my score. I'm gonna try again. The time was way worse than last time. I'm gonna do mission now. And there are bosses after each mission. This was a simple but great game and I 100% recommend it. Next up, nominee for worst game I picked is Brotato. It's a fun and simple game where you try and survive for the most ways you can. You can also pick the upgrades that best suit your character. And use your gems you earn from killing the monsters to buy items or weapons. Here's a future wave where I have way better stuff. Here's the time I get my highest wave. Here's me getting my worst wave. I think this game is good, but there's not much to do on it and I would get bored after a little bit. The next nominee for worst game I picked is Medieval Dynasty. Here's the backstory I didn't pay the littlest attention to.
I used to have a simple life. Whatever needed doing round the farm, I'd do it. Being the eldest son, it's tough. But at least we had a living, and our plates were never empty. Then, the war came. I lost everything overnight. The last thing I remember is Father pushing me away, yelling for me to run, to live. At first, I didn't know what to do. Then, I remembered. A story my mother once told me. A story about my uncle, Jordan. He made a modest fortune up north, in a peaceful valley far away from the war. For weeks I held on to that thought, until the valley from my mother's stories. I could see it. This is where I can start a new life.
Then I just started off here. Then found this village. And when I found the ducks, I immediately knew what to do. Sadly, I couldn't get in fights with anyone. And then I found these cows. Then chased after it for a little bit. Then I went on a stealing spree. And then tried purposely getting into a fight by stealing this guy's stuff in front of him. And he wouldn't fight me. This is why this game doesn't compare to others like Skyrim. It doesn't give the repercussions that other games do. People won't fight you if you kill their ducks. That just makes it boring. Speaking of Skyrim, my next video will be about trying to beat Skyrim, so comment if you would want that. The next game up for nominee of the worst games I picked is No More Heroes 3. It starts as a retro fighting game where I have to kill this boss. But then I noticed there's this fridge-looking thing that gives you a sword. Then I noticed I had to use the sword to kill the boss. Then it turned out it was a video game in a video game. And I have to fight these guys with a lightsaber looking thing.
Limit your gaming to 10 hours per day. And you're seriously gonna die. Your hero will explore. He's going to introduce another new game today. Today's Friday is no more heroes. At every opening sequence, we will take no look. Gamers have one goal: to take our opponent in front. How many have the controller? The game's already started. Ready? You're right. Just destroy all those nasty aliens. They're not very nice. I can think that you must wait. You have no idea what you're thinking.
Taking a kill trip on Death Road.
Then I had to save my game. Then I skipped one part of the story and I ended up in a boss fight.
Good guy, come here, little buddy. You're just gonna walk over. Oh, yes, you are.
How did it go from this to this? And after all this time, I couldn't win once against him. Overall, it was a good game with great controls. Now, since I am done with the worst ones, I am going to tell you the worst one of them. It's either No More Heroes 3, Medieval Dynasty, Inculati, Brotato, or Heavy Weapon. And the worst game I picked is Medieval Dynasty. It's just not fun and exhilarating as other games. Now we can move on to 5th place. And it is Super Hot 3. It's basically just a game where you fight red guys and however fast you move they move. Overall, it's a good game, it just gets boring after a while, that's why I'm rating it a 7.5 out of 10. The 4th place of games I picked is Palworld. Sadly, it is beta. The first thing I did was punch this Pokemon, or I mean pal, and died immediately. Then I found a pal I could beat. I love this game, there's so much to it, and when the full version on Xbox comes out I will probably make a video about it. And then when I finally thought I was good enough, I went to kill the giant pal that killed me. I was hurting him and I actually thought I would win. Until I died and didn't even get the footage. Overall my rating for this was the third place of games I picked is Let's Build a Zoo. My first animals were bunnies. That soon had a baby. I also got a hot dog stand and vending machines. Then I finally got ducks. Overall the game was great and I rate it a 7.6 out of 10. The second place game is Man-Eater. Here's the story to it.
Let's get her up! On board the Cajun Queen, Scaly Pete looks over the catch of the day.
Yeah, this my daddy's iron, alright. But this ain't D-Shark. Not the one I was looking for.
How do you know?
How I know? Not big enough. This look like a mega to you. Oh, looky here. She's on for me. Hello! How you mama in there?
Whoa! Well, why'd you do that?
So I can identify next time I see her. When I spear her.
The tiny pup responds with an instinct for survival.
You maybe want to turn off the camera.
Of up to 100,000.
Overall it's a good game where you kill and gain levels and become a bigger shark. That's why I'm rating it a 7.65. And the best game I picked is Forager. It's a great game where you can build tons of things with materials. You can also use your skill points and unlock new things. You can make gold coins which can buy more islands. And there are enemies on those islands you can fight. Overall this game is great and I would definitely play again, that's why I'm rating it a 7.85 out of 10. For anyone wondering, this is the ratings. Thank you for watching. I will be trying to beat all of Skyrim in my next video.